Hey guys, Quacker Spooks here with another set of NFL predictions. This time it's week 4. So, anyways, let's get to it because we got 20 minutes to get our picks in. Anyways, the Dallas Cowboys take on the New York Giants. I am going to go with Cowboys here. The Giants, although they won last week against Cleveland, they did not look good. I mean, they aren't good. They just escaped. They look solid against Cleveland, even though Cleveland's not that great either. So, and as for the Cowboys, they had a tough loss against Baltimore, and I think they can bounce back here. So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys over the Giants. The Cowboys will be 2-2, and as for the Giants, they'll be 1-3. I don't think the Giants will be that good this year. The Cincinnati Bengals take on the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I know they're winless, and I know the Panthers have a win, but I think the Bengals can bounce back, just like the Cowboys will against the Giants. I think, although the Panthers are probably starting Andy Dalton, I think they'll probably compete in this match. But I think the Bengals have just had a rough start. So I'm going to go with the Bengals for this matchup. And as for the Panthers, I think the Panthers are going to go take a loss here. So these teams will both be 1-3. The New Orleans Saints take on the Atlanta Falcons, who had a tough loss against the Chiefs this past weekend. And yes, I know it was pass interference. And the refs didn't see it. On Brian Cook, yeah, that was pass interference, but the refs didn't see it. According to Trey Blake, they just didn't see it. Although that is their job to see it. And as for the Saints, they had a tough loss against Philly, and I think they can bounce back. But I'm going with the Saints here. The Saints will be 3-1, and the Falcons, they'll be 1-3. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Saints here. The Jacksonville Jaguars take on the Houston Texans. I am actually going with Houston. I know they just got their ass whooped by the Minnesota Vikings, but the Jaguars aren't good. They aren't good. They suck. They are terrible. They are 0-3. They will be 0-4 after this week. And the Texans, I am picking the Houston Texans, by the way. And as for the Jaguars, yeah, your season's done. I don't think you can bounce back after this. This is just... You guys are playing terrible, terrible, terrible football. I saw that shit show against the Bills. I saw that. Gave DeMar Hamlin his first pick six. Gave his first pick of his career. Trevor Lawrence. They should really put in C.J. Beathard if that's going to be the case. But even then, they're not going to win with C.J. Beathard. So... I'm going to go with the Texans. The Texans will be 3-1. And as for the Jags, they'll be 0-4. The Denver Broncos take on the New York Jets. I am going to go with the Jets here. They had a pretty good win against New England. Jacoby Brissett was outmatched, as I expected that to be. And the Broncos, they had a pretty good game against Tampa Bay. But I don't think Bo Nix could outplay Aaron Rodgers. I think that's just absurd. And I think I think the Jets win this game. The Jets will be 3-1, and then for the Broncos they'll be not 0-3, 1-3 because they just beat Tampa Bay. So they'll be 1-3. The Jets will be 3-1. The Minnesota Vikings take on the Green Bay Packers. I'm actually going to go with the upset here with the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Packers are a good team. I know they're 2-1. They have Malik Willis, who's been playing really well. He's been playing really good football. But Sam Darnold has also been playing really good football. And he has weapons around him, and I think the Vikings can win this game against the Packers. In Lambeau. 3 years ago, I probably would have picked the Packers for this matchup. Because, Aaron Rodgers was on the team. And back then, the Vikings weren't really that good. I think Mike Zimmer was the head coach 3 years ago, too, so. That dude can't call a defense to save his life. Even though he was probably going to beat the Giants tonight. So, but I am going to go with the Vikings. Over the Packers, they are currently 3-0. And as for the Packers, they'll be 2-2, and the Vikings will be 4-0. Jeez, who would have expected the Vikings to be undefeated in 3 weeks of football? The Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Indianapolis Colts. I am actually going to go with the Steelers. The Steelers are 3-0 under Justin Fields, and Mike Tomlin has a reputation of having winning season after winning season after winning season. And as for the Colts, I think they could play well, but I think the Steelers will unmatch it. They have a pretty solid O-line. Justin Fields can run. I think Justin Fields wasn't the problem in Chicago. I think the system he was in, Matt Nagy being his head coach year one, really didn't help. And Matt Eberflus didn't really develop him any further. And I think he's going to do the same with Caleb Williams. He's not going to develop Caleb Williams. He's just going to let him die. And that's why the Colts beat the Bears. But I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They'll be 4-0. And as for the Colts, they will be 1-3. I don't think the Colts are that good, but Anthony Richardson could pull off the upset. We'll see. The Los Angeles Rams take on the Chicago Bears. I'm actually going to go with the Rams here. Let me double check. I'm not exactly sure. Let me double check. I should have brought this out before I started recording, but that's okay. I could check this out very, very, very easily. Where's it at? There it is. There it is. I found it. I made these picks like 2 days ago, so I gotta double check. Alright, so who did I pick for this game? The Rams over the Bears. The Pigskin Pick'em. Rams 49ers. No. I actually did pick the Rams. I was concerned that I didn't. And I was going to be stupid and pick the Bears. But I am actually picking the Rams over the Chicago Bears. The Rams played well against San Francisco, and I know San Francisco choked. But I think the Rams will be 2-2. The Bears will be 1-3. And I think the Rams will be good. I think the Rams will play good. And I know they had a rough first 2 games, but I think they can try and bounce back and make the playoffs if they can. Anyways, I am going with the Los Angeles Rams over the Chicago Bears. The Philadelphia Eagles take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm actually going with the Eagles. That's kind of surprising considering how well the Bucs have been playing. And it's in Tampa Bay. Everyone remembers that playoff matchup where they were the number 7 seed. And the Bucs beat them because Tom Brady was there. Anyways, I'm going with the Eagles. If they can beat the Saints, they can beat the Bucs too. So, and I know Nick Sirianni is on the hot seat right now. But, this is his 4th year. I think we've given him quite an amount of time. But I'm going with the Eagles. They will be 3-1, and the Tampa Bay Bucs, they'll be 2-2. The New England Patriots take on the San Francisco 49ers. I am actually going with the Niners. I know they're 1-2. They have a rough start to the year. But I think they will win the NFC West. I think the Seahawks don't stand a chance. Kyle Shanahan just did the Kyle Shanahan thing. And I just think that, it's... I think the 49ers can beat the Patriots. If the Jets can beat the Patriots, the 49ers can beat the Patriots. I think they can beat the Patriots here. And I think the 49ers will be 2-2, and the Pats, they will be 1-3. They don't have a good team around them. I know they have that one win against Cincinnati, but I don't think they have a good team around them. I'm sorry. The Washington Commanders take on the Arizona Cardinals. I'm actually going to go with the Cardinals here. I know the Commanders looked awesome against the Cincinnati Bengals, but the Cardinals are actually pretty competitive this year. Plus, according to this, 60% of the people picked them. So, 60% of the people that are doing the Pigskin Pick'em and on ESPN, they are not a sponsor. I am not sponsoring these. But 60% of the people picked the Cardinals. And I think they can win in their home. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to ball out. And I think the Commies, although they are good, they played really well against Cincinnati. I don't think they stand a chance. And Kyler Murray has more experience than Jaden Daniels. So, also, they're both Heisman winners. So, anyways, I'm going to go with the Cardinals. They will be 2-2, and the Commanders, they will also be 2-2. The Kansas City Chiefs take on the LA Chargers. I'm actually going to go with the Chiefs. They're undefeated. And the refs, I know the refs have been very skimpy about the Chiefs and, their play. But one of those instances was pass interference against the Bengals. That was pass interference. And I know the other instance, I know Trey Blake's crew didn't see it, and he's just, it just worked. It just worked in their favor. But I'm going to go with my Kansas City Chiefs over the LA Chargers. And we'll be 4-0, and the Chargers will be 2-2. The Cleveland Browns take on the Las Vegas Raiders. I am actually going to go with the upset. And they're going to play, and I think they're going to beat, I think the Browns are going to beat the Raiders in Las Vegas. And I think yes, I know the game is starting in like 4 minutes here. I'm going to still record. I'm going to get this out of here. I'm sorry I'm doing this super late. That's okay. But I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns over the Las Vegas Raiders. And I know they don't have an O-line. It's going to be an upset, is my thoughts. But I know the Raiders are more likely to win because they have a better defense. And their O-line is going to get wrecked by Max Crosby. But that's why they play the games. So, I am going with the Cleveland Browns over the Raiders. I think, months ago you could have told me the Browns were going to beat the Raiders here. But, I'm going to take them in their upset. I'm going to pick the Browns. They'll be 2-2, and the Raiders will be 1-3. Sunday night football. We have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going with the Bills. That's an easy one. The Ravens have a rough start. They're going to be 1-3. The Bills will be 4-0. The Bills will have a really good offense. They can play. Man, it was just... It was just a... Oh my God, you have no idea. They wrecked the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they're going to do it again. They're going to do it again against Baltimore. And I know it's in Baltimore, and I think, it's the I think I think this is going to be a great matchup. But I think the Ravens are going to come out short. The Bills will be 4-0. And as for the Ravens, they will be 1-3. The Tennessee Titans take on the Miami Dolphins in a 2-game doubleheader on Monday night. In one of 2 games. That's what I mean to say. I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins. The Titans aren't good. I can't back them. And neither are the Dolphins. But I think the Dolphins win this game. I know. I think I said that last year. I think I said that last year. They were on Monday Night Football, and lo and behold, they choked the game away and gave it to the Titans. And if they do it again, it's going to be so funny. But at the same time, I kind of want the Dolphins to win. So, I'm going to go with the Dolphins over the Titans. They'll be 2-2, and the Titans will be 0-4. And last but not least, we have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions. I'm actually going to go with the Lions here. This is going to be an upset. I know Seattle is 3-0, and I think the Lions have a really good offense. And I think they played well against Arizona. But I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions over the Seahawks. They'll be 3-1. They'll both be 3-1. I think these are pivotal matchups in prime time. Except for that Titans-Dolphins game. That one's going to suck. But the Seahawks-Lions, the Bills-Ravens, yeah. And I think Cowboys-Giants is going to be good too. So, I'm going to go watch the Cowboys and the Giants. We'll see you guys next week when we cover Week 5 and introduce the dreaded bye week.